Good morning, traders, and welcome to today's live market profile and order for trade analysis by Tradeducation. We are episode 172. And before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay. So let's look at what happened yesterday, and what can be the potential option development paths for today, especially in Nifty futures. So let me just quickly share my screen, and first of all, let me just jump to the daily chart. Okay. So from the daily chart, what is happening is the 220 EMA is acting as the level of resistance, and the auction is now slowly trying to go down. Okay. So that is one data point that is telling me. Second thing is there are multiple demand zones which are present, and that's where I'm expecting some sort of reversal. So right now, what I'm expecting is a lot of choppiness, to be seen, and this is the bigger balance, which the auction is currently, working on, or I would say it's currently this is the auction in play. Okay, so overall we are still in a balancing mode. Nothing much has changed. It's look below the balance and fail. If you see the close of yesterday, so this is the close. It closed above the balance low, so this was the balance low. Okay. So overall, there are mixed reactions going on, and if you see the volumes are also flat. Volumes are greater compared to this particular up move or bullish move, but volumes are slightly increasing. There is a slight increase, and so volumes are increasing and the prices is coming down. Okay, so this means either sellers are entering the long positions, or sellers and buyers they are just entering their short positions. Second thing to note here is if you see the overall entire range, so earlier the 400 point range, it is now shift to 288 point range. So the daily range or the average two range, so this is the ATR line. The ATR line is right now it's reducing, so it's about 288 points, and let it reduce because this also indicates that the volatility is decreasing, which is a good sign, for very safe traders. Okay. So now let me jump to the volume profile chart, and this is the balance low. So some choppiness action seen around the balance low, and then the auction took higher. So let me do one thing. Let me add the data points of yesterday's auction, and now I'll shift my. This is the balance low. Okay. There is one more thing what I can do is, so let me, so this is a new profile, so I can actually start a new profile. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, this 4 days. So I think this is a good, okay. So this can be that balance low, and this is the new balance low. This is the balance low, and this is the balance high. Okay. So now let me delete this particular line. Now I'll just focus on this 3 days, this 4 days, the auction from 4th, 10th, 13th. So basically from 4 8. So these are the 1, 2, 3, and 4 days. And right now what we are seeing is selling is pretty strong. Sellers are pretty strong, and the auction is just closed around the VPOC. So today we need to see whether the auction opens above VPOC and whether we see continuation to the higher side. Okay. If we don't see that, if the auction opens below VPOC, then odds are high that we should be tagging the lows, and we might tag this particular VPOC. So this can be one positional target from the short side if the auction opens below VPOC and there is strong resistance. If the auction opens above VPOC, and so this is the second target from this is from the long side, and this is the VPOC. So if you see, this is the VPOC, and that's exactly the balance. Okay, so 11,150, and this would be 11,450 something. Okay, So this is a positional long trade which I'm currently sharing. So now let me just minimize this. So this is the balance high and that is also the VPOC. Let me see if there are any HVNs, two HVNs on the upper side. Nothing much, and overall if you see the entire auction yesterday was just sideways, nothing much is happening. Okay, now let me just jump to the market profile chart and let's look at the structure. So first of all, we had this poor low and trap sellers, so this reference has already been taken out. So now my focus shifts to the yesterday's low. This also I'll remove this reference point, and the second is the peacock here, and that's exactly just a few ticks away where the the auction just halted. Okay, so this is the second reference point which I'm having for observing the market. Overall, if you see, we have a sort of a balanced structure yesterday, and it was peacock to peacock auction. Okay, so basically short-term players or short-term traders were just anticipating or trying to gauge and trying to play the markets. Okay, so some of the intra-bar halfback references which are intact is this is the second one. Okay, and so these are the two anomalies which I'm able to spot. There is also an anomaly here, so there is some unfinished auction which has happened here. Rest we don't have a good excess on the high, good excess on the low, so odds are higher that both the high and the low will be getting tagged. Okay, so let's look at where the auction is going to open. So today is 10th of September. Let me hit refresh, and the auction is closed 85 points up. Okay, so now the auction development paths for today's auction is, so the auction will open about around the highs, and we need to see whether the yesterday's high acts as the level of support, and then it should continue higher, trying to tag this particular reference point. Okay, so this is the first auction development path. Second auction development path is, it opens with a gap up, it closes the gap, spends some time, and then it tries to clear the anomalies, maybe around this level, or it tags the low. So one reversal can happen here, and the second reversal can be seen here. So this is auction path number 2. This is auction path number 3. Okay, this is the auction path number 1, and then some sort of reversal can be seen. Apart from that, we have got two G2 highs. We have got peacock. So odds are high. So one more auction path which I'm seeing is, if the gaps doesn't fill and it just continues in one direction. So this is the fourth auction path. So odds or probability of this auction path is very low. Odds are high for auction path number 1 or number 2. Okay, so let's see which way, or where, how the auction develops. Now the market will open in next 30 seconds. So I'm just closely looking, but I'm expecting sellers to again step in. So if you see this particular, so this was a selling zone. So as per price action, the auction comes here. So there is one half back here, and there is one more half back here. So this anomaly will be cleared. Okay, so let's see how the auction opens. The auction will open in next 3 seconds. So I'm just looking at it. So the auctions open with a gap up. Now, so this is a selling zone. This is where sellers came in, and sellers should again come in. That is the expected outcome, or that is the known auction development path. So sellers are coming in, and now it looks like the gap will be getting filled. So let the gap be filled. So don't take any trades for the moment. So this is the supply zone, where sellers came in, and this is the buyer zone. So this is the buyer zone, and this is the supply zone. and the auction is just getting rejected around the value area lows of the 8th of September. So let the gap be filled, and we need to see whether we are seeing acceptance into yesterday's range or whether we are seeing rejection. Okay, so auction path number 1 is currently into play. So auction path number 1 and 2, 1 or 2. So we need to see which one happens, which one plays out today. So here it was bullish. So sellers will be getting exhausted around the highs and buyers will step in. So let's see. Okay, so now let me delete this. Let me minimize this. So these are the two options which I'm looking at. From the order flow chart, 5,000 contracts already traded. So we have 2 minutes to go. It's just hovering around VWAP. There are some anomalies on the higher side, no anomalies on the lower side. There are trapped sellers, there are trapped buyers. Okay, so a lot of information or data points we are getting. Good gap up. The cumulative delta is turning negative. We need to see whether it turns flat or whether we see continuation to the downside. The balance of power is showing a sort of divergence. So this is again a supply zone. So one good trade location will be to take a short, keeping a stop loss around this, around 353. So 348, 353, and target of today's low and the gap. So this is the gap, 324. So say you entered at 348, and this is so 23 points profit with a stop loss of so 348, the stop loss of 5 points. So 5 is to 20, that is 4 times return, 1 is to 4. Okay, so that is one good short scalp trade which I'm looking at. So only risky traders can take the trades. I'm just sharing based on my analysis. It's up to you. So I'm just observing the markets, looking at the order flow numbers. Massive selling pressure is stepping in. Okay, so you should be out of your trade. The stop loss should have been hit. So there is one anomaly again. So let it get cleared. So the first trade you should be out now. So I'll just wait for this candle to close. You can re-enter the trade again from the short side. So So let this gap be filled. Let it enter yesterday's range, and then you can see if buyers are stepping in. Then you can join the momentum buyers, and then I'm expecting the auction to close around the value area highs. It's 11,433. So let's just wait for this gap to get filled. So currently it is getting rejected at the value area highs, just a few ticks away. So 7,900 contracts traded in the first 5 minutes. Currently 1,900, 2,000. So, and if you see, this is the point of control of today's of the current auction. That's where maximum sellers are stepping in. We have got this anomaly here. So now we just have to sit and wait patiently whether this anomaly gets cleared or not. So buyers again stepping in. It looks like sellers will win, but a lot of delta is getting absorbed. So one comment from Nitish: high confidence market. Yes, you are correct. High confidence buying. I would say not market. It's not market. It's high confidence buyers. Uh, so they shouldn't be exhausted. So if the auction enters yesterday's range, basically what will happen is those who bought here will be seeing a sharp downfall. Okay, because there are stops building around the today's low. There are stops which are building around this particular low. Let me look at the volume profile chart, and here if you see the VPOC touch is not done. So I'm just waiting for this VPOC to get touched, and this VPOC is exactly around the high of yesterday. So you see here, this is the high of yesterday. So that's where I'm expecting a sort of reversal. So the auction looks bullish and high confidence from buyer's perspective, and it is in this bigger range. So let's see, where the auction goes. 11 to 36 pullback low. 11 to 36. This. So this is a lower. So this is a higher low. This low got broken, then this is a higher low. So I wouldn't consider this as a pullback. Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know, Nitish, to be honest. But why the auction stopped here? 11 to 35. Just a second. Let me look into it. So 11 to 35. Let's look at. So this was their demand zone. Again, it came into the demand zone. This is the value area low. That's exactly buyers came in. Okay. So this is not a pullback low from me, Nitish. Yeah. This is nothing but buyers again stepping in. Okay. So 4,000 contracts traded, and now buyers should continue pushing higher. So a wedge pattern is getting formed. So what do you mean by wedge is this is the wedge pattern. So this and this. So let's just wait for a breakout, and then you can take some trades. Wedge pattern getting formed. Here delta is turned flat, so no indicating that change in direction of the trend. There is a HVN around the highs, one HVN around the lows. Yeah. So no clarity yet. Let the market chop. So one more comment: how to CRESR. I don't know what is CRESR. How to move both chart in Ninja. I don't know what do you mean by Nitish from your comment, but so there is a resistance. Now it is turning into a support. There is a resistance around this level, which I'm getting a feeling. If you see the wicks here, how to crosser. Okay, I don't know, Nitish, what is crosser. So one more comment is what's that bottom indicator? I don't know, Manikanda, which bottom indicator you're talking of for which chart. Okay, Nitish, cursor mouse in both chart. You just have to make this cursor a global cursor. I think somewhere there is a setting. Yeah, this one. Crosshair and you select global. So that's how you can make it global. So strong resistance here. Buyers are getting exhausted. The anomaly has cleared. So now we need to see whether sellers step in or not. So this is the level where maximum buying and selling has happened. This is the POC of the current so basically for 15 minutes. Okay, sellers are stepping in. There's a VWAP touch happening. Delta is flat. Volumes are okay. So 7,900 to 4,000, so 50%, and now one more 50%. The delta is pretty flat. So from context perspective, it's high confidence buying, but currently the auction is not going higher. Now from the price action perspective, this is where sellers came in. So those sellers who came in on 8th of September, they will be again coming in and trying to force the auction down. So this candle close above VWAP, but it should go below it, indicating that sellers are strong. So 210 contracts around the lows, 315 around the high. That is the first 3-minute candle. So there we have trapped sellers and we have trapped buyers. And now you see the tempo, sellers stepping in. So the delta is just flat. You see this candle, delta is just flat. Minus 800 to plus 132 to minus 106 to plus 200. Cumulatively, delta is also flat. Here also the delta is flat. Now it looks like a VWAP touch is happening. So the option is just hovering around yesterday's high, spending some good amount of time. So now it's the game to sit and wait patiently. Sellers did try to came in, but now the selling is getting absorbed. Good volume flow also. So this is the LVN, this is the single print. So this low and this low, so low is weaker because it's exactly at the single print. Yeah. Buyers are trying to pretty hard to take the auction higher. I think today is Thursday, the expiry day. So let's see whether, because mostly the Thursdays are balancing days. So the VWAP touch is done, delta is flat. Okay, so it looks like the high will be getting tagged now. Delta is just turning flat. It's tagging the VWAP. So 2600 to 1800. Let's see the volume coming in. I'm expecting a big tempo because here again buyers came in. Just hovering around VWAP. Let me see if there are any comments. No comments. Mm, 359 is the high, just 2 points away. And the high has been tagged. Okay, so stop loss getting hit, 3400 contracts, good positive delta. And there is an anomaly here. Cumulative delta has turned positive. So I'm expecting to have a big drop now, big tempo. So this is the level where the POC of current auction order flow. That's where the auction is getting rejected. The auction is just chopping, let it chop. Sellers are stepping in. So this should close below VWAP. That's where again sellers will come in, and those who went long, they will be booking their losses or throwing at their towel. We just have to wait and watch. Rejection around the value area lows. I'm just looking at this auction. It's just trading around this POC. Delta is negative. Just hovering around VWAP. Here the VWAP touch is done. Delta is now turning flat. So 1/2 back, reference level, getting rejected at the POC of the depok. I'm expecting some continuation to the downside. So see how strongly sellers are coming in, buyers absorbing, sellers coming in, buyers absorbing. So something is going on at this level. So chopping is going on. Let the market chop, but I'm expecting it to reach this half back level. Just above VWAP, just going higher. VWAP and getting higher. Still 1 minute to go. I'm just observing the auction at this reference, 11,355. Okay, it's at the half back level here. Okay, so now it's just around VWAP. So now I'm expecting sellers to step in. Let me see if there are any comments. Nitish, some anomalies are there. Yes. 11,385, 11,399, 11,377. Yes, there are anomalies, but the biggest anomaly for today is this gap. So we need to see whether this gap is getting filled or not. Okay. So this is more from the positional perspective, but from today's auction development, we need to see. So this is a very fresh anomaly. So we need to see that whether it stays intact or not. Okay, guys. So that's what I wanted to share today in today's analysis. And I would request you to please do like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Also, feel free to share this video among your community and friends. And let's again catch up tomorrow and see how the auction develops. Yeah. So thank you and take care. Happy and safe trading, and bye for now.